Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another figure review, and this is the Hasbro Marvel Legends Series Ultimate Riders Wave 5 Cosmic Ghost Rider. Now this figure was shown off at San Diego Comic-Con last year, and I was fortunate enough to attend and be able to see that figure, to be amongst the first to see the figure, and now having it in hand, I am very pleased with it. Now the motorcycle itself is all the same from what we saw at San Diego Comic-Con, but looking at the figure, I think I see some things that were not looked much better at San Diego Comic-Con, and of course those are going to be better prototypes versus final product, so I get it, but I thought it'd be at least worth mentioning since they actually had the product in hand, and usually when they actually have a floor model displayed like that, it's pretty close, but there's just some things. The figure looks good. I hear a lot of great things. So lots of others have already reviewed it. Toy Shiz, X-Manny87, lots of folks have had the chance to review it, so if you're here watching, I do appreciate it. Thank you so much. So we'll get right to it. Cosmic Ghost Rider logo there below, then we have a Ghost Rider logo there up at the top. Now this is Frank Castle, not any of the other regular Ghost Riders, and I don't know the story behind that. I'm gonna have to kind of look it up. So side artwork looking pretty good. Here's a look at the back of the package. Let's take a look at that bio. Cosmic Ghost Rider. Supernatural powers transform Frank Castle from a force of retribution into an eternal spirit of vengeance. So interesting. I don't know the story behind it. I really don't. But anyway, there it is. Awesome look at the back of the package with the artwork and the composite and everything done by Jerry Wilson. Give him a follow on Instagram. He does a lot of great work. And it must be so hard to be that guy because he works on the packaging art so far in advance and he can't say anything, and I just want to like pick his brain and send him a message like, hey, what's coming up? But of course he won't tell me. Anyway, let's get this thing up and take a look at the figure. Okay, real quick before I take it up, you just got to look at everything and how they packed this thing. You know, they had to take this front wheel thing into two separate parts. The stand is down here, the tailpipe's down here. It's just crazy everything that they jammed into this package. Then when you look at Squirrel Girl, it's like, okay, there's a lot of empty space in there. So pretty cool that they did that. Now let me get it out. Okay, so here's the Cosmic Ghost Rider figure out of the package, and you can see that there are all kinds of different parts and pieces that go along with this guy. So you get the handlebars that come separately, you get these flame effects for his two blasters. He comes with two different blasters, and it took me a while to realize that there were two different pieces. Handlebars don't come together, tailpipes are a couple of different pieces, and then whatever the wheel thing is a different piece, and we have a stand. So without further ado, we're going to go step by step on actually how to piece it all together. There's no instructions, but it's all pretty common sense on how to kind of go things, but we're going to do that together right now. So of course, easy enough, we're going to start with the motorcycle itself. So the tailpipes, the ones on the left side are already attached to the motorcycle. You can remove them if you wanted to, but on the right side they are not there, so we're just going to port those in like so. Very easy. The two handlebar pieces are going to just port right on into these pegs there. Very easy as well, or yep, they snap right on in. Easy peasy. Snaps right on in. We get this really cool clear stand which has a ball on it, so it allows you to get it into all kinds of different angles, so you can have it kind of turn, heading up, heading down, all kinds of great stuff with this stand. So that is actually really cool. Now moving on into this energy ball thing, whatever it's called. A couple of different things. We get this white lightning effect that's in there. The ball itself also has some sculpted in there to give it that look. So that's just a nice added touch when you can actually see it inside. So that just kind of floats in there. This one is a little bit different. We actually get this little portion here that's going to peg into something, and that kind of helps hold it in place. But looking at the axle, I guess that you would call it, a couple of things to look at. There's that notch there, so we know that this blue piece is going to go underneath, and we have these pieces here, so it looks like they're going to port into there. So I think for ease of use, we're actually going to port these guys in first, right up underneath there. So that holds it in place. Then we get here, and we got these two notches that are going to come for the two bars there. So we'll put that, and then here it's going to go through the center. You're going to port that on in, and then it fits perfectly right in there, those two notches on there. So then let's go in the same vein on this top portion piece. We're going to get the white lightning effect piece thing. We're going to port those in there first, and then we'll get the ball. And we can just put it together and it just snaps into place. And there is the energy ball thing, whatever it's called. I know you could stick a LED light in there and that would probably look pretty cool. But there is the Cosmic Ghost Rider motorcycle, and that thing looks awesome. Some really cool things about it. We'll take a closer look at it here pretty soon. Another cool thing I want to show you guys, and we'll take a closer look at these two blasters a little bit later on. He comes with two different blasters, and there's actually holsters on the motorcycle or the bike that actually hold them. So this one here, you can see it because again they're different. The holsters are even different. This one's just going to slip right on in there and actually just kind of clicks right on in, so that is pretty cool. This other side, this one is going to go right on in there, but you got to be careful because like on this one you can see that the plastic's a little warped on mine, so that it kind of makes it a little bit difficult to get in there. See, but it ports and fits right on in there. It doesn't really click in like the other one did, but it does go in there. So that is looking really good. I'm going to check if this flame effect is actually removable. That flame effect does come out, so that is pretty cool too. So if you didn't want to show that, you could do that like that, and we'll get that back in there. So really cool. Now let's take a closer look at the few accessories that it comes with. Look at the figure, look at the motorcycle, and go over everything. Okay, so looking at the accessories that comes with the Cosmic Ghost Rider, we have this flame chain that looks really good. Now it's the same one that came with the first Rider's Ghost Rider. It's just the deco is different. This one actually has silver paint on it to represent the chain, whereas this one is all translucent, fiery looking. So that's the only difference between those. We get these two blasters. Now, at first glance, when I first took them out of the package, I thought they were going to be the exact same. They are in fact two different ones. So you have this one here, good sculpt work, but they're just a big hunk of black plastic. There's nothing, there's no paint or anything to it. But again, the sculpt does look pretty good. There's that one, and then there's this one here. You can see that this portion here is definitely a little bit different. It does get warped, so how yours comes out of the package, you may have to kind of heat it up to kind of get it all back in place. But really cool. Nonetheless, you can see the handles and everything are definitely different on them. And then we get these two flame effects that work for it. Like when I first took them out of the package, I was like trying to put one on there and I didn't realize that these were two different pieces, and I started feeling really stupid. So these flame effects won't interchange. You have to use a certain one for each one. So I'm gonna go with this one, so you can see that this one has the kind of the rounded cutout, and it's gonna fit kind of in place. It's kind of hard to get it to rest in there. You kind of have to get it just right, so it's got to really be like this. The flame effect itself, it actually looks really good. You have a lighter orange color into a darker orange for the flared out flames. Looks really, really nice. Hasbro did a great job with that. Then you can just pop it off like so, and pop it right back on. Or it could just come off on its own also, so be aware of that. So then you have this other one. You can see that it has a larger opening on this flame effect because it's got to fit over this all big barrel here. So it's just going to kind of go in, and you can kind of work it, I guess, in different, this one you can work in different angles to get the flame effect, but I guess the flared out pieces, probably should be going up. But again, the flame effect looks outstanding. We get the lighter yellow into an orange color on the flared out pieces, almost like a red, so that looks really, really good. And it simply stays on there like that. This one holds a lot better, and you kind of have to pull it off to get it off, but it's a nice touch for this figure, getting some new accessories like that. Now let's take a look at the figure. Okay, so this figure is crazy looking. Look at this thing. We get some new parts going on. Now, I think the lower legs and everything are the exact same, and you'd have to forgive me as far as what figures they come with. I want to say the Taskmaster from the Onslaught wave? Was it Onslaught? I want to say that that's what these legs are. I'll have to take a look at that. But of course, this torso piece and everything is going to be brand new. It's going to be specific to Cosmic Ghost Rider. They're not going to get any use out of these pieces for anyone else. Now, whether they release this guy again, who knows? But this pack is, 99% all new pieces, or 98% all new pieces. So it's pretty shocking to kind of see that. And if the case breakdown is actually 2 of Cosmic Ghost Rider to 1 Squirrel Girl, which is pretty crazy. So he should be pretty easy to get a hold of. Now the hype is crazy for him because, again, he looks fantastic. There's a couple of things that I just kind of a little off to me. When seeing this guy at San Diego Comic-Con, there were some really awesome things. I want to say that these red spike pieces were a kind of more of a metallic color. Or maybe not even metallic, just a shiny, deeper red. We don't get that in the final figure. It's not a problem. It still looks really good. So for the cosmic effect, though, you get these little blue dots, little pink dots kind of throughout, and that's just kind of, I guess it's supposed to be that spacey cosmic look on the figure. I think it looks a little sloppy. At San Diego Comic-Con, I thought it looked fantastic. I don't know what it was about it, the sparkles. Maybe it was the black that was just a little bit different. Maybe it was a shinier black. I'm not sure what it was. These just kind of look, little paint splots just dabbed on there, I guess. It just doesn't work as well for me here in the final figure. It's not a problem, but it's just one of those things. These blue pieces here, I think from the artwork, based on the artwork that I see, it's supposed to be kind of a light up effect is what it's supposed to be. I think that's what kind of why we get such a bright color. But that looks pretty good. But the torso, it just looks amazing. The sculpt of it is crazy when you see that Punisher skull there, because again, this is Frank Castle. So that is pretty awesome. Looking at the back of the figure, we don't get anything really. We just kind of get this this metal. It's got this metal look. I don't want to say it's lighter than a gunmetal, but it's the silver color throughout the figure, and I think it looks really good. Came out looking great. Paint apps wise are good, except for, the little blotch. Oh, and then I just noticed this too. You see on the red eyes, there's just little dots of orange throughout that, and it kind of got a little sloppy and kind of a little above the eye there. But that's getting real nitpicky. The figure itself, it just does look really, really, really good. I like it. You have this headpiece that can come off, by the way, and then he has like a tiny looking skull head. Somebody on Instagram or something asked if you could put like the Walgreens magic skull head that came with it. That's not going to work because based on how I could see it, you see that peg there. This isn't a standard head that you could just pop on and off, so I'm not even going to move any further with trying to do that. This is done nicely. We have this yellow translucent fire piece that is separate from the skull piece there. That looks really good. Translucent red, orange for the skull. It came out looking really good. And then this, to contain the flame, I guess, it just pops right on in there. And that looks really good. These pieces can kind of fold up, so it's not going to hinder the articulation or anything. So let's zoom out and look at that articulation now. Okay, so the articulation, forget the head. You're not going to get anything. Obviously, when I've taken this plastic piece off, you could get the head to rotate, but obviously with it on, you're not going to get anything. We're not going to go over it. So shoulder, again, that can go up, so it's not going to hinder the articulation of the shoulder too much. You can't get the shoulder to go up that high, which is really good. You could get a rotation in there. You just kind of have to work it a little bit, but it could happen if that's what you really wanted to. We get an upper bicep swivel there, double jointed elbow, which works out really, really well. We get a swivel at the wrist and a hinge there. There is no waist swivel on this guy. We get a diaphragm joint, so that diaphragm joint can get him to pivot that much, which is fantastic. That's what we want in a diaphragm joint. Going the other way, same thing, really good range of motion there. Going forward, we actually get more than you would see on most diaphragm joints, so I'm very happy with that. Going back, we get quite a bit, and then but the problem is, and you're not going to see this too well, there's a little bit of a gap going on there, so you don't want to do it too far back. But that works out really well. Again, no waist swivel. Legs go out that far apart. He can kick forward very, very high. He can go back a tiny little bit. There is an upper thigh cut right there. You get a double jointed knee, which works really well. And then for the ankle, you get ankle pivot, goes down all the way. Hinges up quite a bit, and you get a nice ankle pivot, and then it has that ankle ball in there so that there is, the rotation and swivel in that ankle ball apart from the calf, so that works out really well. Now, one thing that just kind of I can't unsee is that this figure looks like, because the way it was made, of course, it's going to go onto the motorcycle. To me, it looks like the character, the figure itself, just got finished riding horse all day long with his bowed legs out. I can't unsee it. It's probably going to bother me a little bit. I will display it on the motorcycle, so it's not going to be noticed. But it's just in the way that looks. I haven't seen anyone point that out, but I understand that it's made to sit on the motorcycle, so that's why it looks. But it doesn't look natural to me with the legs being so far. apart like that. But anyway, let's take a closer look at the motorcycle, or whatever it's called. Okay, so here's the motorcycle. We're going to get in a closer look so we can look at all the details kind of throughout. So we get these little like translucent blue pieces kind of throughout here, and it's kind of, I think, supposed to represent kind of a lighted effect to it. We get the same thing kind of back here on the body of the motorcycle. It's done in like this grayish plastic, which looks really good. Throughout here, the exhaust, again, the tailpipes actually can be removed if you wanted to. They are a lighter gray plastic. The right side is where you have the screw holes and everything, but it's not too noticeable. They're not too bad. Again, we get the different holsters on either side. The flame effect out of the exhaust looks really good. We get the light yellow into orange into red, and that comes off looking really, really, really good. Front view of the motorcycle looks great. This ball, energy ball, you guys need to let me know down in the comments below. What is it explained in the comics? I know this is a fairly recent thing. It's not something that I read, but you guys let me know what kind of powers this, I guess. We get those same ring pieces that we see on his wrist, like so. Same pieces there. Really cool. And then we have the footrests there. So really awesome piece, and I can't wait to put this in my display. So here we'll zoom out, and now let's get the Cosmic Ghost Rider figure onto the motorcycle. The great thing about these legs is you can actually really get him into a nice sitting pose, so you don't have to worry about that. I didn't mention this earlier, but these hands are the same hands that actually come on the previous Ghost Rider figure from the the first wave of riders. Okay, so we'll fit the hand over the handlebar there. That's not too difficult to do, so that's good. Place the hand there. Extend the feet out onto the footrests there. You can tilt that torso up to really get it to look like he's actually riding the motorcycle. So that actually looks really good and looks very natural. One of the things with some of the riders, they don't quite sit on it right, or their body isn't positioned too well, and it can look a little funky. This thing looks great sitting on it. And then the awesome thing with the stand is all of the cool things that you could do. You could tilt him to the side, tilt it to the other side of riding it. Yeah, that is just awesome how they do that. So that can pop off pretty easily though. So careful with that. Make sure you have it all nice and tight. And then you can adjust the motorcycle in all kinds of different ways. So lots of great motion in there. Really cool. And again, don't forget the holsters for his two blasters. Again, they just pop right on in there like so. This one you have to work because, again, the warped plastic of mine, I got to kind of work around that. You guys shouldn't have too much of an issue on yours, but yeah, that is awesome. Okay, so there's the review. Here's a quick little side-by-side comparison of the two Ghost Riders, and the Rider's Wave. The Rider's Wave's the line. So here we have the classic Ghost Rider, and then here we have the Cosmic Ghost Rider. So pretty awesome. It's crazy how we went from that, and that was the first figure along with Black Widow, and was like, that thing's amazing. And then we come to this, whereas we've seen the same things get used over and over again. The same motorcycle used for Captain America, for Wolverine, and then the scooter we saw used with Deadpool, which is pretty cool, and that's gets used for Squirrel Girl. This is pretty awesome to see something brand new and something pretty crazy. It was very unexpected when Hasbro had announced it. It's like, okay, well, it's a new character, it's a new thing, it's a massive motorcycle, and yet Hasbro really delivered on it, and I think they did a fantastic job with it. You guys let me know down in the comments below what you think of this. Are you going to be picking it up? I was fortunate enough to find it at GameStop, and they are running a 20% off sale, so I did get it for $31.99 plus tax. Pre-orders weren't not up before, however, they are up now, and some places have them in stock. Last I checked, Entertainment Earth had them in stock. I'll also include links in the video description below, so hopefully you can get your order in. But you guys let me know again down in the comments below what you think of it. Are you picking it up? I'm curious. Let me know. Also, if you guys like the video, please hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. Hit the notification bell, and as always, thank you for watching.